Tall does have an enormously unhealthy fascination with cocks.
Oh yeah, I got a special bond with cocks.
Well, I'm gonna put you with the bases, I'm gonna put you with the bases, I'm gonna kick you with the bongos, I'm gonna put you with the bass. Kick you! Fuck you! Bitch you! Fuck you! And I'm gonna kick you with the bongos, you're the woman with the balls, and I'm gonna kick you with the bongos, you're gonna kick you with the balls.
It's not just drawing, because he'll talk about them as well. Not as much as drawing them. He draws them fucking everywhere. I've got so many. He's always drawn cocks.
Kick you in the balls, I'll kick you in your fucking balls. If I don't kick you in the balls, I'll still kick you in the balls.
And not just cocks. I could show you some pictures. You know, everything. Vaginas. He draws the most grotesque vaginas you wouldn't believe.
You see that moment, big and brown, and I see what I'm gonna kick him down, and in the face, and I'm gonna put you in the face.
Drawing cocks are addictive. Ask AK. AK never really drew cocks, and then he lived with me, and now he draws cocks all the time.
I didn't see the humour in cocks until I met James, but they are really funny.
Balls! 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 Kick you! You kick me!
And I'm glad that they're a part of my life.
Kick you! In the balls!
I don't know. No, cocks are awesome to draw, especially ridiculous ones.
Yeah, didn't work that in, did it? They dropped my fucking band.
The way it came about in the first place was I just got my new high-def camera, and, you know, Tottenham and I wanted to do some sort of short film together. We didn't really know what.
To start with, it was all James and Adam's idea.
We digged about in the past time with me and Dad and AK. Just got drunk in Bellevue and stuff, and ended up doing stupid stuff like we did one thing with chins.
Yeah, so we put these eyes on our chins and start talking. It was okay, it was quite funny.
Sang stupid songs together, so you just knew it would work.
Silly songs and silly poems are definitely a huge part of it.
Just, again, another random night where we just decided to get absolutely ruined. It was when we came up with Man Queen.
In the land where I was born, I was not born. Look at my beard.
And one day I was like, fucking, man, we should do something. Because I was always bored and wanted to do something stupid.
We knew that we wanted to do something, and we wanted to spend the whole night doing it and have a few beers.
It was going to be like a little thing. It took one night, I don't know.
And I just got a random phone call one night. And I was like, look, we've got this character. Do you want to do it? And instantly, I was just like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
So we spent all day getting ready, and we went and picked Dan up from work.
We started filming, I think it was about 12 in the night that we started filming.
And, you know, again, Tom and I have been planning this all day and possibly the night before as well, that we're going to do this sort of twisted kid show.
But I'm lovely. You're not lovely. Whatever shall we do? Let's draw and paint. Let's draw and paint. Draw and paint.
Like, they weren't paedophiles or anything, but it was a little bit creepy because it was so cheap, and we wanted to do something like that. Something that sort of strike chords in people our age. Like, you know, I remember shows like that, like Smart and Art Attack and those sort of, you know, 90s kid shows.
With my trusty magic pen made of piss dust.
And we flicked the camera on after all this preparation, getting the set ready as well, going around the house, finding bits and pieces to put for the set. We start filming, right, and Tottle's enthusiasm lasts about an hour and a half at most.
Yeah, it was ridiculously late anyway, and then it just took fucking all night.
More than that.
And then he just sort of just goes, brr, and then it's just, oh, this is shit, this is stupid, why don't we do this instead, and, you know, this isn't working, that's rubbish, and, you know, that's not right, oh, I can't do it, I haven't got enough energy, I'm so tired, get me another beer.
Now, to make the radio, we'll need the following things. Some wool, condoms.
The footage looks like we're having so much fun a lot of the time, but we're generally not.
I don't know, there was sort of waves of tiredness. And
He literally didn't want to film 95% of the original Bits and Bobs. I had to make him do it.
Oh yes, I do believe it's time for my massive lovely. Goodbye.
With the Massive Lovely, I had to get the boys up physically out of bed, right? Tottle and Dan. I had to drive to Dan's house, literally take him out of bed because the dickhead had been out drinking all night, right? I had to, set up every shot as well, and when you're running around all day trying to get a fucking shot with sheep running across as well, it's not an easy thing to do, yeah? So if I accidentally leave on the time and date on the footage and it gets recorded, right, I think I'm allowed, like, one small mistake.
when we filmed the sheep, it's worked perfectly. It was like a miracle, and it was a DV and that shit.
Alright, so maybe it's not one mistake then, but two mistakes. Toller said that this was like the most important shot of Bits and Bobs, which fair play, it's probably my favourite shot in there. And then we got it, and I realised straight away. I think I realised as he was chasing the sheep past, and I was like, oh fuck, it's 4.3, it's DV, they're gonna fucking kill me. And they were so happy, and I felt terrible.
Fucking went amazing. Sheep right in front. Oh god, it was gorgeous. It was like the best we could have possibly asked for. And it was in TV. Nobody even knew it was me. They thought it was Gus dressed up as Kenneth Close.
So when we chopped it all down and looked at what we had, and it was 2 days of film. There really wasn't that much stuff to work with at all.
Because it was weak compared to what we never really had an idea for the Massive Lovely. We had little ideas that we never really put into action.
Me and Tottle just sort of didn't find it funny as we thought it would be anyway, and we did just want to. For a long time, we were sort of just trying to chop it down, and then we wanted to chop it out altogether.
It's just feeble. That's what's good about it now. It's like it's a Massive Lovely, but it's really shit.
And we actually, I never told Dan this, but me and James did actually decide, we can't have this. It's not funny. No one's gonna like it. No one's gonna think it's funny. Fucking gay guy running around fields going lovely.
Which is good, but at the time we didn't see that joke yet.
So we did end up keeping it in, and it's a damn good job we did because it's it is really funny, and it's people's favourite part as well.
Oh yeah, what's so funny about me running up and down hills?
You can't run bills.
If you're Welsh, right, and you spend time in the valleys, nothing's flat. Like you've got these sort of just bursts of mounds of grass just here and there and everywhere. And I think you become, how to sort of traverse slight embankments.
Congratulations, Wells. You can run up hills.
He can't walk or run up hills. He can't do any sort of off-road terrain because he's from England. Can't walk up a fucking hill. Can't put a fucking salt on his hand.
And like James and I didn't really realise this until he came to filming The Massive Lovely, and he's running up and down the hills, and that was when we first kind of realised, and that's why it's so funny, because if you watch him, he's fucking useless. I mean, the idea was to run up and down it a good couple of times, and he's not terribly fit either, which added to the humour.
I have to run down these really steep mounds and then run up another mound.
But if you watch him, right, he goes up the one and then he comes across to the other, and that's pretty much it. He can't. That's all he can do, and he has so much trouble just getting up, up and down those bits anyway. And I mean, like a classic example of what I'm talking about is when he goes up to the hill that's on the left hand side of the screen. He's knackered, and like he does like a little jump or whatever by the basket, and then he starts taking a couple of steps forward, and then his left leg, he sort of misplaces his footing a little bit, right, and he just goes right down like a sack of shit, and you can see that there's no it happened so suddenly for him that there's no way that he could have like sort of put his foot anywhere else. It's just he's not used to the hill, he's not used to the grass.
You okay? Do it again! The guy's foot is hilarious because I'm English and I can't climb hills, even though I have hobbit feet. Can we film this? Look, I'm actually Look, my feet are like hobbits, but I can't climb hills. Come on!
Yeah, he just couldn't do it. It was hilarious. And like, me and AK was rolling around the floor laughing at him. And he didn't find it that funny.
Amusing. Haha! Oh look! He slipped over the hill! Not even halfway!
When the carpet caught fire, it was the last shot of the original Bits and Bobs.
The idea was to set the radio on fire. I was like, oh look, it's fucked up, it's on fire. A little bit of a joke.
So what we had to do was get loads of tissue, put it in the AM/FM radio, spray it with deodorant, and then light it. But the only way that we could do it, because it was a very small space, was Dan was being Andy Jobs with his left hand, and he had to sort of light a bit of tissue from behind the radio.
And tissue paper, as you probably know, is pretty damn flammable. And I kept spraying it with deodorant. And so we keep going to do these takes. And it's like, just about to light it, and then, because we've only got one take, and just about to light it, and Ako's like, oh no, we need to do this. So, I don't know why, it's probably because I was tired.
The horrible early hours of the morning, and we just want to get it done. And plus I'm thinking of the camera, and I'm thinking of the sound, and I'm thinking of how they're acting as well. You know, I'm doing it all by myself. So I maybe didn't pay enough attention to the flaming AM/FM radio on the trolley sort of being wheeled off to the side there. Because, you know, it's going across, and Toll, you can see Toll's kind of still got his eye on it, like, fuck, that's not right. And I just regard it, and I'm like, oh, Dan, you know, we can still see your hand, man. And Dan's like, oh, fuck, you still see my hand. And Toll's still like, guys, it's on fire.
So it starts going up, and then all I remember is noise, because I'm still too concerned about whether my hand was in the shot. I'm completely oblivious to most of it.
Your hand's by there.
Right, that's really on fire.
Well, I just hear James and Adam screaming, fire!
Guys, it's really on fire. And like, as soon as he's got that serious tone in his voice, I swear you can see it on the original footage. As soon as he's like, boys, it's really on fire, right? The boom mic goes down for me. I pick up the wet towel. Fucking wet towel. I don't know what we thought that would do.
So we got this tea towel ready for this shot, right? Soaking wet tea towel. So, yeah, so we ended up falling asleep, but he puts the tea towels on the radiator.
I have no recollection of the towel being left on a radiator. It might have been. It does sound like the kind of thing that I would do.
And then when we wake up, we do the shot. And obviously this tea towel was totally dried out, and he just tries to it's bigger than a tea towel. He's like places a little serviette on this burning inferno.
No, it's still on fire.
Was my hand in it for the whole shot?
I can't say anything because I wasn't helping.
I go, guys, and then I knock the trolley over or something, and then it just all spills onto the floor. And then, yeah, then there's fire.
It's really on fire.
Guys! Don't fucking out! Guys! Fucking!
Ah, it's on my foot! And just this screaming and the smell of burning flesh hair.
And we all went over and we're trying to sort it out. But James got really, really angry.
Fucking
Still
told
smoking,
you!
it's going to be burning the carpet, it's burning everything.
Fucking hell!
And afterwards as well, he still claims, I think, that he was the only one doing anything, and like, oh, nobody else cared and stuff. Man, don't.
I was on fire! My foot was on fire!
And that's how James sort of manifested this story, like, oh, nobody gave a shit. It's just because English Dan didn't give a shit.
Oh my god. Okay.
He's just stupid, and he can't cook, he can't do anything sort of normal. The cattle story when he put the cattle on fire.
It's a misunderstanding. My mum told me to boil the kettle, right? But the electric kettle, I think, was broken, and I knew that. And she was saying, so she said, boil the kettle. And I was like, the kettle is broken. How am I going to do it? She said, put the kettle on the hob.
I said, what? He's like, put the kettle on the hob. So he's like, all right. Goes into the kitchen, digs about for a bit, comes back out, goes, are you sure I'm going to put the kettle on the hob? And I was like, yeah, just fill it with water, put it on the hob, wait until it boils. Put the kettle on the hob.
Are you sure this is what you want me to do? You want me to put the kettle on the hob? It doesn't feel right. And not once did she click to think that perhaps I was thinking of the electric kettle, which was broken, and not the other one that I didn't even fucking know existed.
She's like, okay, fuck it, I'll do it. Don't think it's right.
Alright, it was just there on the worktop, next to the other kettle, but I don't look at kettles.
So he just literally puts the kettle on the hob, turns it on, electric kettle, plastic, waits for it to start melting all over the stove and everything's on fire before he realises this isn't right. So then he goes, man, this probably ain't right, it really doesn't look right. And then I think his dad rushes in and sees it and calls him an idiot.
I was like, I don't believe it, and sort of and took it off, and everyone made fun of me ever since. And the most horrible part of that is I wasn't sort of 11 or 12 or young. And
18 years old, puts an electric kettle on raw fire.
Tottle always hated the Goodbye song. If you watch carefully, you can see the flames of Hades in his eyes.
I didn't want to do a fucking end song.
The thing that he hated most about it was pre-recorded.
I was ill when we did that fucking thing. I was ill, so I had like sort of baby flu or some shit.
We need to have it planned properly. And he's always said, and it is right, you can sort of see that he's not singing on the spot because the sound quality isn't very good.
I just really went up for it, but...
Plus I think they found my laptop full of child porn, and now we're going to jail, right? That was the only line out of that song that he fucking wrote. He insisted that line go in there. He really wanted it, and I was like, that's not very discreet, man. That's quite full frontal, should we tone it down a bit? And he was like, no, it's really funny, laptop full of child porn. And then that was, funnily enough, the one of the things he argued against on the day was like, I think they found my laptop full of child porn, it's terrible, it's not going to be funny.
It turned out alright. AK's like, didn't it turn out alright? What did you say about the last song? What did you say about the Goodbye song? All the time. He throws that back in my face all the time.
But there was such a round of applause afterwards. And it lasted for ages. It was like, I've never felt anything like that. So I felt fucking famous for a few minutes, Yeah, and of course, all of his worries were just completely washed away by the end of it. He loved it. He loved all the attention. He spent the entire night just stumbling around drunk, being like, I'm Kenneth Boggs, worship me.
It would have been funnier, though, if I'd fucking improvised it. I swear to God, you stupid cunt. Same as the live shows, they weren't deadlines, if something was booked, it would never go done. Bits and bobs in space, I'm fucking very worried about it.
When it came to the live show, just from day one, as soon as I mentioned it to them, like, Gus is doing a live show, he's asked us if we want to do a bits and bobs, they were all on board straight away, but no one was as excited as Dan.
We get the phone call, so Gus is doing a live show. Let's do a live show, and it just randomly happened from that.
Is that the live show, hands down, wouldn't have happened without Dan's money.
I spent so much money in this live show. What are you talking?
Like, he produced it as much as I did in that respect, so I was doing all the running about and the organising, but without his capital it wouldn't have happened at all. So he literally he sort of, angered his girlfriend, his health plummeted from living off like fast food and sleeping on a sofa and drinking kick and having to listen to fucking James whinge every half an hour that he didn't want to do the show anymore.
And we did. We spent 3 weeks, or 3 meetings that we had, because we all never saw each other, and working on the script that we knew that we weren't going to use. We just wanted something to sort of work off for the time being. So it was, in my opinion, it's all this time.
Oh, there you are, Joseph! Hello, Kenneth! It's Joseph Lovely! It's Joseph Lovely! What a nice surprise!
The writing process goes, you get this, preferably not Fosters because they're not very nice.
Generally, we sit down, try really not to get any drunker than we already are and fail miserably.
Nothing's done without beer.
Well, I'm not drunk. I want to be drunk.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, 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 joy.
What did I say? Man.
We pile into this house and we spend sort of a day and a half there.
Get to an inebriated state where we either dress up like absolute cocks, quite literally in Chong's case.
I reckon you should turn into Chong for a bit. Just be like, oh, Tot, oh.
We just got really, really messed up and so many good ideas poured out from that.
It was literally about half an hour and we did more then than we ever did for the writing process. We came up with pretty much every character, apart from Clapper on Cluck. We came up with everything, while, you know, sort of what the ending was going to be and everything. So it, you know, we just fell out of us like it would because it's stupid nonsense, really.
Because it's taken from a kids show, so it's got to be a stage show in a kids format, and of course that is a pantomime. So you know, we had to adapt some kind of pantomime thing, but throw in the adult themes and the whole ideas of bits and bobs.
With Bits and Bobs, it's really easy to write because it's just kid shows. So it's just sort of stupid story that all works out in the end. It's never hard. It's never like, oh my god, we need a twist.
Are you coming with me, Joseph? The forest and tide, castle and tidy?
I'm afraid not, Kenneth. Unfortunately, I've got to be in the next scene, so I better hop off. I'm going to make like a leaf and tree.
We took all sorts of inspiration from everywhere. I mean, my character's voice was from like Lemony Snicket audio books, a series of unfortunate events.
Who asked the Bard? The Bard just ended up being an immensely stupid version of me. I got too happy with the gyrating. I gyrated the fuck out of that stage and I played that flute to the best of my ability.
And this time it was the making things. I had a lot of fun doing that.
He pretty much designed all of the costumes. Dan did obviously help.
Did nothing but worked on those sets with James Bell, and unfortunately had to suffer his fucking wrath as well.
The strenuous part was really the making, and I think Tottle and Dan probably were the most hard working out of that, and Beth as well. Beth really put so much fucking work into that.
I had a lot of fun because I felt a bit like God. And being like, when peasants would crawl up to me and be like, Tottle, is this one good enough? And I'd be like, no, you fool! Do it again!
I would say it was primarily his vision in terms of sets and props as well. He knew exactly what it should look like. Me, I'm not so good with that kind of stuff.
When it comes to making things anyway, AK took 3 days making. Literally 3 days making a sight magical wishing well sign.
We were making the tree. Well, me and James, between us, spent about 3 days solid on that fucking tree.
Yeah, we spent like a fucking month making the tree's eyebrows, and it was bad because I didn't want to slay him for him, but I worked out when we'd actually made the tree then, that because he'd made the eyebrows before the tree, that they wouldn't go on properly, and we had to change them, and like he weren't happy.
Dan now also, he sees what I've meant all these years when I've been talking about the way to work with James is, you have to be careful, you can't push him, and guarantee he's going to change his mind in a heartbeat, and you just have to roll with it. When I shouted at Dan in the theatre...
The theatre, yeah, I was there for that, man. That was the shoutiest I've ever seen him, yeah.
It was a couple of hours before the show.
AK had a simple task to do that day. He had to set up a projector screen.
And Dan and Tottle would go to the back of the theatre to take a seat. So it would take 5:30, they've just done all this work. And me and Mike Chamberlain, the guy who did sound, and a bit of writing as well, again, but the live show wouldn't have been the same without him at all. We're sort of trying to...
We were trying to set up a projector.
Yeah.
And it was like at a little bit of an angle.
In the fucking fridge.
Yeah. And it's like when you know what the problem is.
Basically, we just couldn't get it right. And sort of we tried everything.
But like, yeah, Dad was like, well, let's put on the ceiling. Like, I was like, it looks fucking crap.
I was getting worked up because I felt like nobody was listening to me.
Your dad was sat at the back of the fucking theatre just making fun of AK silently while he was running around stressing like a gay.
And so Mike and I stood there at the front of the stage with the projector sat up, discussing like, okay, Mike, how are we gonna, how are we gonna do this, man? Should we do this? And is this what kind of connector do we need for the audio cable? Where's that gonna run to? How about the sound and stuff, right?
And so I yelled down to AK. I'm like, oh, AK, I didn't realise he was talking to someone.
You saw that we were talking, right? How much can you fucking miss? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I was just tired. I might have been prompting him.
AK. And it gets louder each time. AK. Like, oh, AK.
Okay, Dan. Okay, Dan.
Okay, just ignore him. Yeah, okay, is this gonna work? I mean, oh gosh, fuck, I still gotta do this, And all the while, Dan's just at the back of the theatre, all the way at the fucking back, going,
AK, you have to turn the projector. The projector's on the man now.
Obviously, I'm at the back of the theatre. I can't hear anything.
No. You were blatantly talking.
And he was really, really trying to have a discussion with Mike Chamberlain, and it wasn't happening. And I thought he was going to poo.
And I looked at you, and you were just like...
And he just kept on and on and on. And eventually I can't remember exactly what I said because I just kind of saw red and screamed at him.
He turns around and he's like, Dan, what the fuck do you want?
But it was along the lines of, man, would you shut the fuck up? Just really really brutally, but I yelled.
Started screaming at him. Like, man, blah, 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 live to my job, and I was like, oh, really.
And I was just like, oh, be a dick then.
I didn't mean for it to happen. I don't usually use my big voice.
He's just getting a real hissy fit because he had to do some work.
He reckons that it looked to him like we were just stood there staring at each other, I think. Like just not saying anything. Which I think is bollocks.
Yeah, he got angry. But it was all a misunderstanding and it was cool in the end.
Yeah, I do feel bad, but it was absolutely all his fault.
It was stressful, and you got to that point where you're like, oh god, I just hope this ends.
We had a blow up in the ballroom on the second rehearsal day. We were fucking proper. Dan, first time I ever seen him angry with me in his phone. He's like, I was like, fucking no, proper screaming around. It was awesome.
Oh, no, he isn't. Oh, no, he isn't.
Racing to an empty room was fucking scary. Loads of these chairs staring at you with their cotton eyes. It was horrible. But like with real people, is they say they laugh and then you get a bit more confident and then you say something else and they laugh again and then before you know you're having a wicked time.
Forgot words. I forgot my lines. Yeah, I admit it. I forgot my lines, and in every single rehearsal we'd done, I always remembered the lines, and then I forgot them. So no doubt James was going to latch onto that one.
I really enjoyed having a room full of people shout cunt.
Cunt! Cunt! Cunt!
I can see why rock stars like it, but I don't think I'm going to make a career out of being live.
One thing that we really wanted was no swearing through it. No swearing through any of the bits and bobs.
Oh, that bastard!
Because he's a dickhead.
Shut up! Fuck nose!
Dick.
Fuck off! Don't say vagina!
No, with a guitar.
Bit of a bastard!
Sucking on my dick, bitch.
I'll be fucked if I know!
Like a twat.
A big spacey bastard!
Fucking this and fucking that.
You absolute bastard!
Fucking hell, man!
A big spacey bastard! A cunt!
Absolute fuck.
Cocks is better than swearing.
Yeah, no, comedy is generally sweary.
Everyone laughs at a cock, right? But like, there are some girls that can't stand can't stand cunt. They don't like to hear that word.
I think it's it's an easy thing to go to, swearing, you know. If you can't think of something now, like I'm doing, it's like, oh yeah, I'm fucking, and fucking.
We've all agreed on that every step of the way, all of us. So whenever we write, we you know, occasionally it would be like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if we swore by here? And we'll take it out and replace it with a silly word because we like that subtlety.
It's, I don't know, offensive. I don't really care about offensive because our friends are going to get it no matter what. You could say the dirtiest sentence in the world to our friends and they wouldn't care.
The first Bits and Bobs, as Bits and Bobs 2 and 3 will be as well, is packed full of jokes. Sort of, you know, you might not catch them the first time around. Sort of, you know, they'll just be a really quick shot and there'll be a cock up in the corner. Or she told me she was 6 is written in one of the shots as well, which not many people pick up on. That's one of James's ideas.
You could literally skin a baby alive. Actually, I don't know, they probably would care.
And then right at the end, the battle between Rupert Unpleasant and Kenneth Clogs, because they're sort of improvising, and I think Toll's a bit excited and happy. He says, "I'm going to shit in your mouth," which I think just completely wrecks everything that we strive towards. It's really, really fucking funny, and I think I'm glad that it happened in the climax when everything's really frantic, because otherwise I think I would have been really, really upset. So it does work, luckily.
Big squirty cock is obviously a lot more offensive than I'm gonna shit in your mouth, because everybody, you know, a 4-year-old could say I'm gonna shit in your mouth, but a 4-year-old wouldn't think, I know, I'll dress up like a giant cock and squirt camel all over the place.
I would say that having an enormous cock jizzing over a member of the audience is a bit more vulgar than a sock saying I fucking love glue or whatever, but it's funnier, isn't it? It's so much more fun. Anybody can swear.
What about my massive loving? Everybody clap your hands!
But then when it ends, you're like, can we do that again? That would be awesome.
We did the live show, and then like the day after, it was just like, what? It's, you know, that's not there anymore. And like the first day, I think the day off was like, yeah. The day after, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Oh, cool. I don't have to do anything. And then like I think a day later or something, I was just like, oh, I miss everything.
I would love for things to be a little bit easier.
No, it's exactly the same way we work now. We're just in a studio in a big fucking room. In a big room with everything there. No leads missing. No fucking, you know, no late Mr. Khan. No broken Kia Prides. Just fucking big room. No YouTube, because Mikey fucking D and YouTube. Big room. Yeah, black walls.
And sort of looking back now in hindsight, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Just better it, and that's with everything that we've ever done. Like, you know, the first Bits and Bobs, or like Man Cream. We're like, when we did Man Cream, we're like, oh yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, we can do better.
So yeah, that's why we decided to stick with everything. I think it does work, and I think people do like it. It's got universal appeal. I hope.
My favourite part of working on Bits and Bobs is hanging out with my best friends. It sounds really corny, but no, like, as much as we all rip the piss out of each other, those guys are my best friends, and like they're pretty much like my family now.
I'm happy to do Bits and Bobs and that when I'm doing nothing.
And it's fun. It's really fun, but yeah, it's just good to be around so many like-minded people.
My favourite bit about working on Bits and Bobs, it's gonna sound really mushy, but like it is the fun of working with your friends.
Like, even if it wasn't funny, which to me it is really funny, and I love the humour in it, but even if no one else gets it and no one else cares about it, the fact that I'm hanging out with 3 of the coolest dudes, getting drunk and acting like an absolute idiot and producing something from it is just brilliant, and that is the best experience of Bits and Bobs.
And just you know, that childhood thing, just playing silly buggers with your friends all fucking day. And yeah, you know, it does get rough, and you know, we all shout at each other and want to kill Tuttle on many an occasion for being such a grumpy prick.
Oh, did you hear about Jenny from the chip shop? She was caught last Wednesday fumbling a halibut. Then she went to jail. And then she fucked up the snail. It was slimy and she was pretty grimy, but it was alright in the end. You realise she's my wife. You just destroy my life. You with a knife, you can't. Don't you ever say those things. No, don't you say those things. Well, I apologise. Knew you were about to find out sooner or later that she was a fish masturbator, and she was living behind your back with a halibut. She was not like that. You stupid fucking twat. She had a great big heart and an angel's breath, and she never fucked no poultry. I never said she fucked poultry. She was in the section where she got some crab sticks and ran them on her bits. That's when it all went wrong. Okay, she really liked tuna, but I thought she was peckish. Well, you know, when we said she was dolphin friendly, you know we meant it like that. Didn't think you meant it like that. She had a fish up her twat. I wondered why the cat.